Bill, your thoughts on Lamar Miller and the kind of contribution he made? And that's the longest run in the NFL this season.
Yeah, that was a well-blocked play. Very well-blocked play. I thought guys really, executed well for the most part all night in the running game, and that was a good example of it. And then Lamar turned it on. Lamar got out in the open and did a great job. Lamar has been a great pro for us since the day he walked in here. So it was nice to see him be able to get that type of run.
You said you wanted to get Demaryius Thomas involved, and you did tonight. He gets in the end zone a couple times.
Yeah, Demaryius has done a really good job. It's hard. I think you come in mid-year, and, you have to learn a new offense. And, that's not easy, no matter how long you've been playing. And, I thought we did a better job with him this week, and he was able to be more involved and really have a good understanding of how we were going to use him. I think he's just an awesome guy, great guy to coach, and was happy to see him be able to do that.
Bill, how did you guys kind of handle the night with the emotions of Mr. McNair passing and wanting to obviously play well? We were told so many times he loved to win and would have loved this night with his team in a national showcase. How did you guys kind of handle that? And your team obviously did it awfully well.
Yeah, it was a great night. I think give credit to our players. We talked a lot about Bob right in here, what he meant to the city of Houston, obviously bringing football back to the city of Houston. But just the type of man that he was. He was a very honest man. He was a very Christian man. He'd tell you the truth. He'd tell you, when he thought you weren't doing well, and he'd tell you when he thought you were doing real well. And so, I think these players, even the younger guys who really, didn't have a chance to know him very well, I think everybody understood, from the veteran players, what Bob meant to this organization. And, they handled it the right way. And that was a good win and a tribute to Bob McNair. We gave the game ball to Cal because we felt like as a team that that win was for Bob right there.
Bill, you guys 8 consecutive wins, first time in Texans history to win 8 straight games, first team to ever start 0-3 and be 8-3. How have you seen your team just continue to stay united, play for each other, and get to this point of the season?
Yeah, we have great character in the locker room. It's a funny thing, though, Brian. In the end, what have we done? We've done a really good job. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to downplay. We have great respect for our opponents, and we know we've won some tough games and beat some tough teams. But we really haven't done anything yet, if that makes sense. You're in the thing for one reason. And so, we just have to continue to take the mindset – or have the mindset that we just need to, improve every day, work really hard. But the one thing about our locker room, I really do stress this, is just we really have a bunch of great guys. In training camp when we had guys stand up and talk about their life story and, all the way to today where we are now, you knew it was going to be a fun bunch to be around the whole year no matter what happened. And that's the way it's turned out. And we just need to try to keep getting better and try to take the mantra that we're going to try to improve every day.
Hey, Bill, you guys were down double digits pretty quickly. Over to your left. You guys were down double digits pretty quickly, didn't seem to flinch. Did you learn anything about your team in that little comeback there?
Yeah, there was a little bit of – Tennessee did a great job. They came out ready to go and drove the ball down the field. And then, we had a 3-and-out, which was just a brutal drive, and led by me. And so we just made some adjustments. We knew that we had a good game plan. We just had to adjust a few things. And, the players did a great job, and this is a resilient bunch. So even when you're down, the players, they really have a lot of faith in each other. And they trust that somebody's going to make a play and somebody's going to get it done. And that's what happened tonight.
Bill, your pass rush, you guys get 6 sacks, which is a season high. And particular, you get sacks from guys that don't always get a sack, like Christian Covington. Your thoughts on what the pass rush meant tonight?
Yeah, one of the strengths of our team is obviously our front. That's probably stating the obvious. We have really dynamic players up front. Obviously, the guys, J.J. Watt, great football player, Jadeveon Clowney, Whitney Merciless. But then there's guys that you maybe you don't hear a lot about, DJ Reader, Christian Covington, Angelo Blackson. Nobody ever asked me about Angelo Blackson, but he's had a good year for us. He's played tough. And then the linebackers, having Zach Cunningham back paired in there with B-Mac, I think really helps us, And so I thought overall, our front really attacked and played aggressive and really just tried to do their job.
And that tackle on the tight end from Zach Cunningham and Bernard McKinney, that seemed to be a huge swing because the next play, Lamar Miller takes off.
Yeah, that was a big play, the fourth down stop. Yeah, that was obviously a big play. You're backed up, so if you go 3 and out there, you're punting backed up, and they have good field position, and it may not turn out to be, such a great thing. But defensively did an awesome job on that play, and then we were able to turn it into points, which is huge. We played very good complementary football today, which was good for our team.
Bill, can you talk about the play of your offensive line up front, how that unit is, the better you run in the ball, obviously you're getting some good protection up front, how they're coming together? Yeah,
those guys have really improved. They work very hard. Got good leadership in the room with Nick Martin, Sunil Kelamete, Zach Fulton. Really good leadership. Got guys like Kendall Lamb that have been around here a long time, that are playing really well, and they really take a lot of pride in improving, and they're a humble unit, and it's good when we're able to go out there and have success in the running game, because it really says a lot about how them, and then Ryan Griffin, Jordan Thomas, Jordan Akins, how those guys blocked, receivers blocking force, did a good job. So it really says a lot about the offensive line that we were able to do what we did in the running game.
Bill, Deshaun was very efficient again tonight. What has he been able to do, working with you, working with Sean Ryan, just to continue? You always mention getting the team into the right plays, especially on a night like this, to get the team into the right plays and really run this offense like it needs to be run on a game-by-game situation.
Yeah, he's really he takes a lot of pride in being a field general. Our offense is really based on the fact that he is the offensive coordinator on the field. It's very difficult to call basically what I would call locked play in this day and age of the NFL. You don't really know what you're going to see. Dean Pease is a great defensive coordinator. Mike Vrabel, they spin the dial. So it's really, during the week, you try to narrow it down. Okay, Deshaun, on this play, it's either this or this. Let's use this to try to help you out. And then you have to get us into the right play. And that's probably 90% of the time. And, he does an awesome job of that. He's a very bright kid and really fun guy to coach.
Bill, first drive of the second half, you go for it on 4th and 1, up by 14 points. Pretty aggressive move. What was your thinking on that decision?
Yeah, I felt like I had a good play there, and then we had a short 4th down later in that drive, and I didn't go for it. I just felt like I had a good play on that particular, point in time, and then, to be honest with you, probably should have gone for it on the next 4th down, decided to kick the field goal, but we had a couple holding penalties on that drive. Just seemed like kind of a messy drive, so I really just wanted to get points out of the drive. But Hop and Deshaun did a great job on that 4th and 1. It was a blitz 0, and they recognized it. Hop adjusted his route, and it was a really nice play.
Was the chemistry between Hop and Deshaun kind of obvious during this game?
The chemistry, yeah, they do a good job. They work hard together. They sit right over here, right next to each other. Demarius is in there. Kiki, they sit over in this area, and they when we watch tape, there's a lot of give and take in the room, and they work really hard. And then out at practice, they really try to fine-tune things. There's not a lot of reps at practice during this time of the year, so they spend a lot of time talking football, trying to work it out on the practice field, and hopefully we can continue to do that. That's going to be a big thing for us.
Bill, when the team was 0-3, you talked about how you and the staff, you guys have to do a better job coaching better. I'm curious, during this run, what specifically do you think you and your staff have done really well, getting the best out of this team during this run?
Yeah, I don't know. I just do think anytime you lose, you got to coach better. That's just what I think. And, I think we as a coaching staff, Romeo, myself, Brad Seeley, when we don't win, we look in the mirror first, and then we try to come in here and try to teach the players some of the things that we have to improve on, and then some of the things that they have to improve on. And our players do a really good job of really trusting what we're trying to tell them and going out on the practice field and trying to execute it. Hopefully that leads to good execution on the game field.
What would you say has been some of the biggest improvements the team has made just collectively?
I think we're playing a little bit better complementary football. I think if you look back, and I don't really like to look back too much, but we're outside of the Washington game, we're taking care of the ball better. I think defensively we're getting more takeaways. We're able to turn those takeaways into points, especially, that happened tonight, whether it was a takeaway or good field position. I think we're playing better complementary football, and I think our special teams is doing a very good job. I think our coverage units do a good job. Our return game is better, and hopefully it all can continue. Because we really, like I said, like we haven't done anything. You know, we've won 8 in a row. Everybody, you know, clap for that. That's fantastic. But like, what have you done? You know, you haven't really done much.
Hey, Bill, as you guys continue on and you build on what you're doing, where are you looking for the improvement to come from? What areas do you say, you know what, if we could do this a little bit better?
I still think we can be more consistent. You know, I think, you know, whether it's the start of the game or, you know, maybe the third quarter, you know, I don't think we're great in the third quarter. I think tonight the start of the game wasn't great. I just think there's times where I can do a better job of helping the team get into a better rhythm, and hopefully that's an area where we can improve, or we're in a good rhythm throughout the game, if that makes sense. Thanks.
Deshaun, how important was getting Lamar going early, and it seemed to kind of open up the rest of the offense? What happens when he gets running like that?
I mean, it just opened up the whole offense. The safeties get aggressive. The defense got to, play, show what their hand is. And, that was the challenge tonight for our offensive line and the running backs to kind of, set the run game, to open up the pass game, and that's what we did. And if the run game is clicking, we're going to make sure that we stay, rolling with that momentum. And the offensive lineman did a great job, and Lamar and Blue did a great job of finding holes and getting yards.
Deshaun, Demarius had 2 touchdown catches today, only his 3rd game as a Texan. How was he able to do it?
I mean, his P's and Q's. He just stayed on top of his game, studied his game plan, did what the coaching staff asked him to do, and he executed the game plan in each route. And, I gave him a chance, and he made sure that he, capitalized on those opportunities.
Deshaun, can you talk about how you guys, it looks like no matter how you start or what happens, you always feel like you guys can get it going. What is it about this team that makes you feel like you can kind of overcome whatever happens on the field?
We always have that momentum and that mindset that the game is never over, regardless if it's going good or if it's going bad. We just got to go out there and play our game. And the game is never over until it's over. So each time we touch the field, offense, defense, special teams, we got to go out there and give it 110%. The other team is going to make plays, but at the end of the day, we feel like our matchup is better than the opposing team, and you got to have that mindset at this level. We can't go out there scared or timid because the other team is going to have an advantage. So each and every snap is going to make sure we go out there and give it our all and go out there and feel like we're going to win our matchup.
Going back to Demarius, is that a feeling that you have coming into the game because y'all haven't spent a lot of time together, or is that just something that you just kind of connect when you're on the field? Is that something you knew from practice that you guys had chemistry in the red zone and you could make it happen, or do you just have to feel each other out and then when it happens, it keeps happening?
I mean, it takes time. It takes time from, film study, sitting at the house. He comes over to my crib and, we talk one-on-one. We just talk ball in the locker room. And then also on the practice field. And, like I said before, he's, a detailed person. He's a veteran guy. So whatever the coaching staff asks him to do, he makes sure he do it right. And those opportunities came up where he one-on-one and he win this matchup. And so it just takes time, communicating with one of each other, making sure we're on the same page. And, some of the times he was the first read, and I took advantage of that, and he did too.
Is the chemistry between you and Hopkins obvious in this game? Do you feel that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, me and Hop, we see the same thing. If he sees something, he communicates with me. If I see something, I communicate with him. Me and him just always talking ball when we're hanging out, when we're here at the stadium, at the facility. And, we just make sure that we're always on the same page. And I just got to give him a chance, with the ball. And those opportunities, it's most likely he's going to come down with it. So we always talking and try to get on the same page and make sure that, he has the opportunity to get the ball in his hands.
Deshaun, on 2 levels, what did it mean to you guys to give Cal McNair the game ball tonight and then obviously play so well on a night where you honor the man who founded this football team? I
mean, the McNair family is special to us. They put, football back in Houston. They've been, so grateful for, this organization, the city of Houston. And, really for my family also. When I got drafted, they connected with my mom and made my mom feel like, at home. She was, had tongue cancer. So, every time we have the cancer appreciation week, they make sure that she's, feeling home and comfortable. And, they're just always communicating with me and my family. So, this night and every game really is for the McNair family, and I know he's watching over us, and we're going to make sure that we make him proud.
After so many people counted you guys out with the way you started the season, what does it mean to you to be able to lead this team to the longest winning streak in franchise history and be able to do what y'all have done to turn it around?
We just focus on us. We don't worry about the outside noise. We knew what this team was about, and we just kind of started slow early on in the season, and we're just a couple plays away from being 3-0. But it didn't fall our way, but we corrected those mistakes and made sure that we stayed on top of our game and kept grinding. And we just focused on that locker room, and everyone in that locker room made sure that we stayed focused. And each and every week we took it 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, and And now we're sitting here 8-3 and have an opportunity to do something special. So we got to keep the momentum going and keep focusing on, one day at a time, one practice at a time, one meeting at a time. And if we can do that, the sky's the limit for us.
Along those same lines, Coach O'Brien came up here and said that you guys really haven't really done much despite the fact you won 8 games in a row. Is that his message to y'all, and how important is it to realize that, it's nice to win 8 games in a row, but there's a lot of work to be done?
For sure. It's a lot of football to be done. Nothing's solidified. Nothing is set in stone. We got a lot more football to go, and we got to continue to play Texans football. And each and every week is very important. Each and every week, especially now, November and December, is a playoff game. So we're trying to put ourselves in a position to be real, where we want to be at the end of the year. And we left a lot of opportunities out there on the field, on all 3 phases. And we got to come back in tomorrow, watch the film, and correct those mistakes. And we still haven't played a complete football on all 3 phases yet. So we have an opportunity to do that next week, and we try to continue to improve each and every week.
Deshaun, the second touchdown looked like it was a zone read. It felt like it was the first time in a while there's been kind of a design run with you. How much healthier are you feeling now as compared to, let's say, a month ago against Jacksonville?
I was healthy a month ago too. Just depending on what OB and the other team is trying to scheme up and what the defense is doing. The opportunity came and took advantage of it. So we just got to go out there and continue to try to pick our spots in those situations. But you never know when I'm gonna keep the ball. So. All
right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Hey, JJ, can you talk about just the kind of defensive effort you guys had tonight, keeping the pressure on so much and so much activity, not just in terms of stats, but the way you guys were so aggressive?
Yeah, obviously it didn't start out the way we wanted to, but I think the way everybody responded speaks volumes about the guys we have out there. Cove had an unbelievable night. I'm very happy for him and the way that he played, and just guys all over. Again, our defense is all about guys making plays. You never know where it's going to come from, but somebody's going to make a play, and tonight was another example.
JJ, you've been here for a really long time and have been through a lot with this team. What does it mean to you to be on the team that set the franchise record for straight wins and to do it on a night when you're honoring your owner who just passed?
Yeah, it feels great. Obviously, we love winning. Winning is always better than losing, and the one thing Mr. McNair wanted was a winner. All he wanted was a winner. He wanted to win every week. He wanted a team that could win and bring a championship to the city. And so to be able to win 8 straight and to be able to win tonight for him was good. And we're going to try and keep doing that for him.
JJ, you guys hadn't had to really respond from an early deficit like in prior wins compared to this game. What do you feel, if anything, you maybe learned about this team from bouncing back like that?
We've been in some tough situations before, so we may not have been in an early deficit like that, but we've played overtime games. We've played games that came down to the wire, so we're used to adversity. We're used to having to find a way, and we believe in each other, and we believe that we're going to find a way. And offense did a great job of going out there and putting some points up, so that helped take some of the pressure off as well. And you never know which side of the ball or who's going to have the biggest effect, and that's the best part about this team is that there's so many guys that can step up at any given time.
Deshaun said you guys need to keep playing Texans football. 11 games into the season, what is Texans football to you?
It's finding a way to score more points than the other team. You don't know how. You don't know where it's going to come from. You don't know if it's going to need 35 points. You don't know if it's going to need 10 points. But it's finding a way that at the end of the game to have more points. And it's been a lot of fun, and it's great to be a part of a group like this. Because we've been just finding a way. And it's like I said, it comes from different areas and different people, different ways, but we're always finding a way.
JJ, can you talk about the thing that stood out the most to you through this kind of turnaround as you guys have gotten into the win streak and continue to try to build on that? What has been the thing that propels
daily work,
you?
daily work. I think it's just nothing extraordinary, nothing wild. It's just we've had a routine. We've came in every week, done the exact same thing, gone to work, practice, meetings, workouts, and guys have just put in the time. They've been grinding every single day and putting in the time, and the results come from when you work, and I think that that's what we're going to continue to do. Everybody's all in.
JJ, I admit this might be kind of a strange question, but if you look at the box score of this game, is it weird to play in a game where you allow 17 points, Tennessee's under 400, and yet Mariota only has one incomplete pass?
I don't know, I guess, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Phillip Rivers only had one. That's a random fact. I don't know why I said that. I was watching the Chargers game yesterday, and he only had one, so that's pretty good. But no, we won, so.
JJ, I believe both your brothers were tweeting after that sack fumble. What does it mean to be able to share this with them, and what conversations do you have in your family after a play like that?
Oh, it's the best. I love watching them play whenever I get a chance. That's why yesterday was so fun when you're off and you get to watch them play. And I came back to my phone after the game to a group text with them with 148 text messages in it. And you can imagine what goes on in there. It takes me a while to read through, but everything from excitement for me to talking shit to me to everything in between. So it's a blast. I mean, it's what you would imagine three brothers all playing in the NFL would be like. We're just three brothers, and we act like brothers, and we give each other grief, and we also are so proud and happy for each other when they have success. And they play each other next weekend, so on Sunday night. So I'm excited to watch that one and sit back and get to watch them go at it. All right, thank you guys.